NBA YoungBoy's case is one of the most serious rapper court cases out right now. From the law enforcement making an entire police force titled Never Free Again, to all of YoungBoy's bail requests now getting immediately denied, here's why NBA YoungBoy will be in prison for many years. Now, it was just announced by a court that a judge has now ruled NBA YoungBoy to be too reckless and dangerous as a human being to ever be released on house arrest or bail until his court trial starts. Now, this is some breaking information now in YoungBoy's case. NBA YoungBoy's been trying to get bail for the last few weeks as his girlfriend is currently pregnant and are expecting very soon, and YoungBoy also wants to start creating more music and just overall be there for his girlfriend. Now, NBA YoungBoy was indicted by a grand jury on March 10th. He was charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, as well as 1 count of a firearm not registered on the National Firearms Registration. Now, these are some very serious charges, and there can actually be a minimum of 10 years in prison for this. Now, due to those official charges, a judge actually ended up deeming NBA YoungBoy not suitable to be out on the streets until his trial is over and if he wins the court case. Also, on that same day in the courtroom, they actually showed 2 photos of NBA YoungBoy. In these photos, NBA YoungBoy was seen holding a firearm while taking a photo with a minor, as well as flashing around a firearm while sitting on the hood of a car and recording a new music video. This firearm actually had a magazine in it, and it still has not been confirmed whether it was a fake or a real. But I'm assuming it was real due to him being charged with possession of a firearm that's not registered on the National Firearms Registration list. So after the court saw these photos, that's when a judge quickly denied NBA YoungBoy's bail request, and he will continue to deny all other bail requests until further information comes out about the case. Law enforcement want NBA YoungBoy so badly. If you don't believe me, well, they started a literal operation team for just NBA YoungBoy. The operation was called, and I quote, Never Free Again, kind of like his name, YoungBoy Never Broke Again. Now, this operation was created with a description of it saying to put NBA YoungBoy behind bars for 10 years in prison for the crimes that he committed. And to make matters even worse, the FBI actually also joined this operation team. Now, this basically starts as NBA YoungBoy has been arrested 14 to 16 times within the last few years. I'm not even lying, you can make a scrapbook of all of his mugshots. It's starting to get that crazy. When NBA YoungBoy was told that the entire law enforcement wants him in prison for 10 years, he ended up writing a message for all of his fans while behind bars. This message says, and I quote, I can leave my kids millions of dollars to divide, but I can't give them the time that they truly deserve. Nobody understands me, they never did. Sometimes I don't even understand myself, but that's fine because I'm okay. I ain't looking for you to feel sorry for me, but I do ask for one thing, and that's for you to let me suffer in peace and tell Miss Wendy Williams I say she has a good soul and that she's a beautiful woman. I can see through all of the bad comments thrown at her. Tell her to count her blessings and stay in good spirits. Sincerely, NBA YoungBoy. Now, while the law enforcement are trying to lock NBA YoungBoy up for 10 years, it's actually looking as if it'll be an even longer sentence. Now, this is due to him creating a high-speed chase with the FBI. Now, the FBI followed NBA YoungBoy and were actually on a stakeout on his multi-million-dollar mansion. NBA YoungBoy ended up leaving his mansion in his vehicle, and then that's when the FBI started tailing his car. Now, while on the highway, the FBI agent ended up telling YoungBoy to pull his car over as they wanted to make an arrest. Allegedly, NBA YoungBoy did start to pull his car over, and when the FBI car went to a complete stop to get out of his vehicle, that's when NBA YoungBoy floored it down the highway. Now, while going down the highway, he was ducking traffic left and right, going into the pullover lane and all kinds of stuff. Like, this was described to be as some like GTA type stuff. Now, NBA YoungBoy ran into some traffic and it kind of made him drift off of the highway and hit the regular streets. While on the run from the FBI, YoungBoy hopped out of his vehicle as he hit another thing of traffic as there was a red light. NBA YoungBoy started a run on foot, but sadly, he was caught in the process as on that day, he was wearing skinny jeans, designer shoes, as well as some diamond chains. Definitely not the correct gear to be wearing when running from an FBI agent. Now, he was originally arrested as he was spotted in a music video a while ago by law enforcement for flashing around a firearm and kind of having it in the general public area. After seeing it, law enforcement then raided his mansion and found 14 firearms allegedly alongside some substances that was found inside of his home, and he was later arrested in the process. Now, this was already enough charges to possibly have YoungBoy in prison for many years. Allegedly, YoungBoy would catch 1 to 3 years per firearm if it turns out to be his. Now, the law enforcement would figure out whose firearms is whose by inspecting them, looking for fingerprints on where you would hold it. If the fingerprints were to match YoungBoy's, then an investigation would start on that specific firearm, trying to figure out who purchased it and where. Now, when you add the possession of firearm charges, the possession of substances, as well as the high-speed chase, which has not been confirmed yet if he will be getting charged for it, he is probably going to be looking at around 20 years in prison, allegedly. As on the high-speed chase, NBA YoungBoy, he was in a vehicle going extremely fast with the general public in the area, and something very, very bad could have happened if someone innocent got involved. You never know how fast YoungBoy was driving. That has not been confirmed yet. But many mistakes were made for NBA YoungBoy. Does this mean that he's a terrible person? No. NBA YoungBoy, he's just been known to have issues with the law. I don't think NBA YoungBoy, if he could do it over again, would start the high-speed chase twice. I believe it was just a more-in-the-moment type of thing, as he was nervous about being arrested and having sentenced for the charges that are currently against him. NBA YoungBoy does have some great lawyers, however, so everyone just make sure you hope and pray that NBA YoungBoy can beat this case. I know that I will be personally, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on with YoungBoy.